How's it going, guys? And welcome back to the Ditto Draft League, where today we play our Week 4 game against Shuckleking. Yes, you heard me correctly. I said Week 4. The reason for this is pretty simple. This was the game that was meant to take place the week that Nexus dropped. And Shuckleking, the lucky bastard, has been in Europe, having holidays in Italy, and has only recently come back. So, I'm playing this a little bit later than I initially would have intended. That means I actually prepped that ages ago, and kind of needed a bit of a rejolt before the game. So, you're seeing this canonically in the correct order, where I'm playing this after my Week 6. Does that make sense? Yeah, cool, let's go with that. Shuckleking has had an incredible season so far. He's currently sitting at 4 wins, having played his Week 5 before this game as well, and his team is just really nice, has a ton of really interesting modes that I think I have some good solutions on how to get around. Also, this is with the team that I had from Week 5, so I'll explain that more when we kind of get into the matchup breakdown, because it's a little bit confusing, but the joys of catch-up games. If you guys are enjoying the DDL content, please do let me know by leaving a like and subscribing, supporting the channel, because that would be greatly appreciated. Because, you know, this is a really cool opportunity, and I hope you guys are enjoying something a little bit different. And I'm very much becoming fond of VGC Draft as these weeks keep rolling around. Anyways, without further ado, now that all the niceties and complexities are out of the way, let's get into this matchup breakdown and see what can I do to stop this unbeaten streak. King's team consists of a Mega Escudrill, Mega Meganium, Mega Frostlouse, Sneasler, Heliolisk, Volcarona, Gallade, Tyranitar, Slowbro, and Gyarados. And he's got some pretty interesting ideas. In case you need a recap, like I said, this is before the transactions, so I still have Mega Banette, I still have Clawitzer, and I still have Reuniclus, which is pretty important to note, because some of those mons look pretty good here. I think, for the most part, the Megas are the scary part, especially since he has to bring Sand, because otherwise Mega Glimmora goes absolutely stupid versus his team. If he doesn't bring Sand, then I can literally just go dual stab plus Earth Power and murder everything. So that is something to keep in mind. I think he has to go Sand because of that, and that limits the rest of his stuff. I think Mega Frostlass is very good to me, just because of, Snow and Veil and things like that. But he might bench it because it can Gambit. He's either benching it or he's leading it alongside something like Sneasler to deter the King Gambit at every possible opportunity. And Sneasler itself is just good because it can fake out, it's dual stab here, it can run coaching for something like Escudrill or T-Tar or even Gallade, because Gallade is quite scary. Or, it could run dark coverage for my Banette. And I think those two as a lead in general looks quite good because Sneasler's thing that loses to Gliscor gets murdered. So overall, very few interesting parts here. I think in terms of what I expect to show up is the Sand mode. I think Frostlass Sneasler. I think he will bring the Slowbro for my Trick Room mode, because if he doesn't bring Slowbro, then Crab kind of goes stupid under Trick Room, especially because, I can just run Rock Slide to cover the 2 mons that are, don't die instantly to my stab. So I think Slowbro does have to come, and then I think he will go the Volcarona, just because that is a nice mon into my team, and Redirection is good for his offensive threats. Without further ado, I think I've yapped about the matchup enough. Let's get into the team that I'm bringing and see what I've built for the King of the Shuckles. So off this week, we have Mega Banette getting off the bench for its first and last ever use. We've gone with a set here of Poltergeist, Shadow Sneak, Thunderwave, and Encore. And this is likely going to be my lead, especially if I do see the Frostlass Sneasler, which is what I'm expecting. The reason for this is fairly simple. Frisk gives me the information on if the Sneasler is Sash or White Herb, and I will respond accordingly, because I can either Poltergeist the Sneasler immediately if it's White Herb, or I can hit the Frostlass or just the partner if it's Sash, because I want to keep the Unburden off as long as possible. Thunderwave is nice for the Frostlass in comparison pairing with the other leads I have, and Encore is just good for fake out turns and protects and things like that. We've gone with a spread here that ensures that I can live a Shadow Ball from Frostlass turn 1, as well as with the little bit of defense investment, ensure that I don't get 2-shot by, I believe it's a Sneasler Throat Shot, which is good. The rest an attack because I need to hit as hard as possible. Overall, I think Banette is actually pretty good. And maybe it's not quite as good if we don't see the Frostlass show up, but in that lead scenario, I think it's perfect. Especially paired with this Infernape, as we've gone with the Shuckleking this week, and that is to cover any sand matchups on lead that could be a little bit annoying. We've gone with a set of Fake Out, Temper Flare, Brick Break, and Mop Punch. Mop Punch is there because obviously I want the priority for the sand mode. Brick Break is there because Aurora Veil Frostlass is annoying and I like to break the screens. And Temper Flare is a bit of a cool cook. The idea being is if Infernape gets faked out by Sneasler, Temper Flare is doubled in power. And what that means is I can outright murder a Frostlass if I'm just able to Temper Flare. And that explains the T-Wave a little bit net, because what I can do is I can just T-Wave the Frostlass into just murdering it immediately with Temper Flare. And with the little bit of bulk that I have, which is max HP and a little bit of defense, I live Fake Out into close combat from any Sneasler, which is really nice. And then the rest of the attack, a little bit of speed, which gets me over, and I believe it's what gets me over, God, you can tell I haven't built this for a while. It gets me over Escudrill that's not Mega, which is important. Also gets me over stuff like Mega Gaining, which is good to know. Overall, I think Infernape is really strong here. It's probably going to be in the lead regardless, even if some of my stuff that I'm expecting doesn't show up. It's just that potent here. Clawitzer is a fantastic matchup in this case, especially because Water Pulse, Sludge Bomb, and Dark Pulse covers his entire team, aside from the Gyarados, which I'm not really expecting to show up here. We have gone with Protect last, obviously, to help with stalling sand turns or tailwind turns or anything like that. And we have gone with a Quiet Nature once again, because I want to make sure that I'm slower than the Tyranitar in Trick Room, because I do think that this Slowbro is going to show up. The defense investment I have means I don't get two-shot by Excadrill, which is really nice, and that little bit in Spadef actually comes in handy in terms of living freeze dries from the Frostlass, as well as not getting two-shot by Volcarona, unless it is like Giga Drain, which I kind of don't think it can fit here. Overall, I think Clawitzer is really strong across the board, and depending on what he brings, this thing's going to show up in the back quite often. Mega Gilmore, I have to bring. I almost didn't, I almost went for Uniclus in this slot, but when Uniclus actually dies to everything, there's no point in bringing it. So instead, we are bringing Mega Gilmore just in case Chocolate decides not to bring a Sand mode. We've gone with a set of Power Gem, Sludge Bomb, and Earth Power, because as I said in the team matchup breakdown, this covers his entire team. And lastly, I've gone with Substitute. And the reason for this is Tailwind related, because I think I can get Substitutes off on Protects, and Sub is far better than Spiky Shield here, especially seeing as Piercing Drill exists from Excadrill, meaning that High Horsepower I think actually kills through Spiky Shield, which is crazy. Overall, I think Galoric forces a lot of progress depending on what he brings, and those three attacks are going to be putting on a lot of damage, especially since it's very unlikely that the partner that it has, unless it's with Banette for some reason, which I can't see, is going to be able to hit the T-Tar hard, and that's the joy of the rest of this team. King Gambit's here, obviously, and we've gone with a bit of an interesting one here, because we've gone with the Occaberry this week to cover for Volcarona Heatwave, which is important. It also covers Mega Meganium Weather Ball, which is also super important, because of the fact that I think the most likely set from Meganium this week is Solar Beam, Weather Ball, and Earth Power as the three attacks. We've gone with a set of Iron Head, Sucker Punch, Rock Tomb to be able to deal with Volcarona and Protect. This speed stat is there to be able to get me, after Tailwind, to get over a mod like Volcarona, which is important. I didn't bother with the 120s this week because there was no need. One of them instantly kills me and the other dies to Sucker Punch. So, and then a little bit of HP is also important because it means that I can live a Slowbro Body Press from full. We've got Defiant in case the Gyarados shows up and is rocking Intimidate, and we'll see if that comes to play. And Supreme Overlord just didn't seem necessary when looking at Gallades. King Gambit, I'm not sure how often it comes, very much depends if the Sneaser's here or not, but we shall see when we get into the game. And finally, we get into Gliscor, which is rocking a set of Tailwind, Protect, Dual Unbeaten, High Horsepower with Hypercut, once again in case the Gyarados shows up. We've gone with quite an aggressive one this week, because of the fact that it naturally lives all the hits that I need it to, in terms of I can live any that hits because of Focus Sash, and I naturally take 2 Iron hits from Escudero. So the attack investment for that dual stab, which covers basically the entire team bar Slowbro, feels really good. Protect is there just in case I do need to stall out some turns or do some scouting to be able to maximize when I can get my own Tailwind up. And that is the 6 that I'm bringing this week, guys. I think I might have forgotten the Cloudster and the Citrus Berry, but that's kind of just a given with the Cloudster. My bad, guys. And I hope you enjoyed this different layout. I keep forgetting the Champions has this mode that looks pretty nice, and it saves me a lot on editing effort, which is always a win, especially when you're doing catch-up games and have a lot of uploads to do. Anyways, enough rambling from me, let's hop into the game. Alrighty guys, this is the getting into the game here against Shuckleking, and he's surprised me big time here, because there's no Frostlass, there's no Sneasler, there's no Slowbro, which are 3 things I definitely thought we'd see. He brings the Sand, because he had to, because otherwise he'd lose to Gamora. And he does bring the Gyarados, which is a surprise. So I'm definitely leading in Furnip, but what do I lead it with, is the big question. Because obviously I want to lead in Furnip, but that didn't quite happen. So I'm going to go with Gliscor, Cloudster, Gambit, I think. Because the idea is just, I think the Sand lead is possible, gets me up Tailwind nice and early, and I have Fake Out Pressure right from the beginning. Cloudster does just look great across the board, and I'm not sure about the Gambit. Maybe I go Glamore instead. Yeah, Furnip, Gliscor, I think is correct. Yeah, because I do think he needs Sand, and the only thing is maybe Gyarados. Clark's on the back. And I think I do bring Glim. I think Glim is still good, especially with the Tailwind. Yeah, I don't think I need to bring Gambit yet. Yeah, we'll go with this for now. I feel like we're going to see a Sand lead. Sand lead would be ideal right here. So, let's see. Ooh, he's running this time. Very short. There we go. Alright then. Game 1. Good luck, have fun to you, SK. Let's have a good one. If you're wondering, I'm in the exact same hoodie as from my game with Geordie in week 6 because I'm playing this like an hour afterwards. It's kind of funny. So he leads with the Escudero and the Gyarados, which is interesting. We see Intimidate Gyarados. Note to self for Gambit later. So I am going to fake out the Gyarados, because I think I have to. And I'm just going to get a Tailwind, because that makes sense. Yeah, that's all I need to do. Tailwind is just nice, especially even if he does try to pivot into the T-Tower right now. Although I imagine what's actually going to happen is my friend is going to get ground moved, and my Gyarados, and my Gliscor is going to get waterfalled by this Gyarados. So, this is a fairly alright lead for me. He doesn't know what my item is yet. He'll find out I'm Shucking turn 1, game 1, which I guess is kind of known. Okay, he Megas the Escudero immediately. That's a surprise. I did not expect that. Okay. So we get the Fake Out off into the Gyarados, which he does a solid 9. He flinches, so he reveals to be faster than his Escudero, which makes me think it might be Scarfed. Or is it very slow Escudero? No, that's Scarf. So we get the EQ, does a lot, but he does see my Shucket, and we're gonna get the Tailwind off, which is good. Now what do I want to do? That is the question. Does some friend want to stay in here? Temper Flame, Bird Break, the same power. So I'm just gonna click that into the Escudero, and I think I'm just gonna dual wing the Gyarados because I need some more damage off on that thing. I'm completely fine with them for it going down right here, by the way. So I think that's completely fine by me. Imagine that Gyarados blocked into Waterfall, and he's gonna hit my Gliscor because he knows that he can take out my Furnip. Maybe protects Drill. He does not protect Drill. Get the Brick Break off. That does nothing. Yeah, you can tell I'm not very attack invested this week. This dual wing beat it's gonna do an alright chunk. It does about half. As Gyarados is gonna click Waterfall into my Gliscor, which 2 shots very comfortably. And we're gonna see another EQ. We are gonna see another EQ. So down goes my Furnip to this after the whole animation plays. And that's completely fine. because this gives me a way in for my Glimmora. Yes, always go Glimmora here. Because I threaten the Power Gem with the Gyarados, which he might swap out right now. And what I can do is I can Mega and Sub, I think is correct. Because, yeah, I think if I just high horsepower this Escadrille, I don't think... I have 2 turns left to Tailwind. Yeah. There's no point protecting. Now, Sub does seem correct. And I just high horsepower this Escadrille, which it should kill based on the Escadrille. On the Brick Breakdown should be Infernape. Do you swap out the Gyarados? That's my question. I imagine you do. Especially if you've like Gallade in the back, or if you have the... Okay, he doesn't. Maybe he's fucking Rowan in the back? But he has to have one T-Tar Gallade, surely. So, I don't know. So I'm gonna get the sub up with Glim, which is nice. And we got high horsepower this Escadrille. Does it die? Glasgow gets the kill. Nice. There goes the Escadrille. So dual stab looks really strong from Glim. And Earth Power, obviously. We're going to see the Waterfall, which takes out my Gliscor, which is completely fine. So I am down 3-2 right now, but I have 1 a turn of Tailwind, and 2 I have a Glimmora behind a sub. And both of those things are big deals. Okay, he's thinking what to bring in. The fact he didn't swap out Gyarados makes me think he might only have 1 Glim check. Okay, I go Clouds here. What does he go? He goes T-Tar. Okay, that makes some amounts of sense. As we do the Sandshrew kicked up. And here, I'm just going to Power Gem this Gyarados, because the last turn of Tailwind. And I'm just going to Water Pulse this T-Tar. I think it's fairly self-explanatory. T-Tar kind of has to break the sub on my Glim, because if he doesn't, he's just in trouble. Okay, yeah, no, I'm feeling good about this. I think I'd probably either force a kill or just massive damage across the board on this last turn of Tailwind. Yeah, so Glim worked out really well, actually. Glad I went that over Spiky Shield. Especially since he Mega the Escadrille. But this is not going how I expected whatsoever. But I'm feeling good. He might struggle to kill Cloudsir, because there's no way to Meganium it back. He swaps out the Gyarados. As we see the Gallade in the last slot. That makes sense. Why didn't he swap it out here? I don't know. Take the Power Gem off. Just huge damage. Given this is a 115 Spadef Mon. And I'm just going to get the Water Pulse off. And it's a clean 2-shot on the T-Tar. Nice. Love to see that. Ooh, with the Confusion. Hitting yourself would basically seal the game for me here. Okay, it doesn't. Gets the knockoff into my Glim, which is fine. Sub goes down. And Cloudsir does outspeed the Gallade, obviously. And Peter's out. So the only way I lose in this instance if it's Scarf Gallade. Which, if you click Scarf Cycle Cut, it's okay. But I think effectively what happens is I just... Yeah, I Sludge Bomb the Gallade. I have to Sludge Bomb the Gallade. And then I just Water Pulse the T-Tar again. Yeah? Yeah, I just Water Pulse the T-Tar again. Yeah. No, I Water Pulse the Gallade actually, just in case it lives. Because T-Tar I'm not that concerned about. I'm really not concerned about T-Tar right now. Get Slip Bomb off. Does pick up the kill on the Gallade, which is lovely. And that does mean the Water Pulse is going into the T-Tar. Snaps out of Confusion. Clicks knockoff into Cloudsir. That does a lot. There's no Citrus. That is very offensive T-Tar. Water Pulse is going to be enough to pick it off. So all that is left with now is the Gyarados. And this looks okay. This definitely looks okay. Ooh. Might get a bit dicey though, if he is Earthquake. Yeah, Earthquake would be the concern here. But obviously this, I just Power Gem. just power against Gyarados. I just Dark Pulse this, because this is my strongest move. And if you Waterfall my Glim, great, I have it in the bag. If he Qs, it definitely gets. Ooh. Okay, so Glim dies. Cloudster lives on 22. And Glim gets crit. At least it wasn't Cloudster getting crit, because that would have cost me the game. And then I get the Dark Pulse off. Hopefully, this does enough. Oh, it dies to sand. Or at least should die to sand. Oh, it doesn't. That's annoying. But, thankfully, since I've used enough Perish Trap in my life, I just get to click Protect. And since he dies first, I win the game 0-0. Not many 0-0s you're going to see in this league, guys. So, there's a first time for everything. Click Protect. He used to click EQ, obviously. And just like that, we take game 1, which is fantastic. Love to see that. And yep, we take game 1. Went pretty well. Galore put in a lot of work. So now I do wonder how he swaps things up. I imagine we are going to see that Meganium. Now, what do I want to do to adjust? I kind of want to bring the Banette this time. Yeah, I don't think he goes sand again. Do I go in for any Banette lead? Yeah, I don't think he leads the Gyarados again. Yeah. You know what? Screw it. We'll try force this lead. I'll go Gliscor in the back, just in case he does bring the Escadrille and stuff. I think I bring Cloudster again. Yeah, Cloudster just looks really nice. And if I can get Cloudster into Tailwind, I think it does a huge amount of work. And yeah, if he doesn't bring T-Tart, Banette looks fantastic. So. Yeah, I don't think I bring King Gambit yet. I just don't know what he's doing with Volcarona. Yeah. We'll go with this 4. He locked in very quickly there, so he knew his adjustments. Also, Swim Trunks guy. That sounds like SK. So Gyarados Volcarona is the lead this time. This is bad. Because I'd rather Banette not be intimidated. So choice card Gyarados, as we know, it's Sash in the Volcarona. It means it's not Sash Gallade, which is good. And we know that. I'd love to hit it, but I think I have to go into Cloudster here. Yeah, just because that Intimidate's annoying. I'm gonna fake out. Do I fake out the Gyarados or do I fake out the Volk? I'll fake out the Volk. Just in case Tailwind, I imagine he's clicking Rage Powder anyways if he has it. Just so Gyarados doesn't get faked out. So I go Cloudster here. And oh, he doesn't click Rage Powder. That's not good. Because Infernape dies to this, I assume. It does. That's unfortunate. Okay. That really couldn't have gone much worse. So I have to go Banette here. Because obviously I need to keep Gliscor in the back. Just in case. Okay, so we got Banette. We know these items already. And here on the Water Pulse the Volcarona. If he Giga Drains to get back to Sash, that'll be annoying. But I don't think he will. And I'm just going to Poltergeist this Gyarados. Yeah. I have nothing better to click here, really. So I'm going to do that. Okay, he's taking his time here. Maybe he's thinking about swapping out Gyarados. Which, like, if he's T-Turn on the back, that's really bad. That's actually so bad in this case. Because I genuinely don't know what I'd do. Hopefully he doesn't. Well, he has to have Meganium based on this setup. Yeah, we're going to get the Mega off of that, which is our 3rd different Mega this season. I have to say, I do really like those rules. Good job, Jay. They're actually really cool to have multiple Megas. So, he's going to Waterfall into my Banette here, which doesn't quite pick up the 2-shot, and he gets a Tailwind. Yeah, Meganium's going to be an issue, isn't it? Yeah. I'm going to Poltergeist. I'm going to attack this Gyarados with his Choice Scarf. Does it pick up? Not quite, but it is Sneak Range, which is good. And I'm going to Water Pulse here, and that is going to pick up the Volcarona, which is good stuff. Cloudster getting another kill. This thing doing pretty well. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped it. Oh no, I can't say that after week 6. If you know, you know. Because obviously this is going up after that. Or maybe before. I haven't actually made that decision yet. Nah, probably after. I'll do them in the order that I actually play them. So you have to assume this is Meganium here. But if it's Escadrille, I'm actually so happy. No, it's Meganium. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I think what I have to do here is protect Gallades, because he's going to Solar Beam. And I'm just going to sneak this Gyarados. And then we just attempt to survive before it turns into Tailwind. Here comes the Mega. Do have to say, Mega Meganium design definitely grown on me over time. I wasn't a big fan at first, but look at that big dino boy. Gonna get Protect off, we sneak the Gyarados, and it very much comes down to what is his last. So down goes the Gyarados. If he Solar Beams Banette, fantastic play, but I doubt it. Yep, he Solar Beams Gallades, Oh no, never mind. He absorbs light. Forgot it goes this way. That was so fast. But it wasn't a Gallades, which is good. So he goes Gallade here, and that's annoying. What do? I think I have to Slug Bomb Meganium. Or I don't protect. No, I'll Slug Bomb Meganium just in case. And I'm going to Shadow Sneak this Gallade and hope it picks up, because I think that's all I can do. Yeah, he's 2 turns, that's a Tailwind. Maybe I have an angle with Gliscor if I outspeed both of these, especially if this kills. So, we'll see. Or maybe I live Psycho Cut. That'd be cool too. But I think both of these might be dying this turn. Get the sneak off, isn't enough? Nope. Yeah, I had a feeling. Get Psycho Cut, do I live? Also no. That's unfortunate. And I assume I'm just gonna die to a Solar Beam here. Yep. I am indeed. So maybe Double Protect was the plan. Because I guess if I had still a Gallades at this point. But what I'd have to do in that instance is... yeah, I'd still have to hope I had speed. So I go Gliscor here. And I just protect, so at the last turn to Tailwind. Because like I have a fair bit of speed on this thing, so maybe I get an extra kill. I go for Protect. He Psycho Cuts Gallades faster than his Meganium, which makes sense. As we see the Solar Beam. Once again, obviously. Which I protect myself. Down goes the Tailwind, and I guess here what I have to do is, I think I have to kill the Gallade, and then hope I crit the Meganium. Or do I hope I crit the Meganium now? Just run some Calyx. Because I definitely don't kill Meganium. Yeah, I don't kill Meganium. So, I'll do Wind with the Gallade, and then just try crit one of the hits. But next turn, after I hopefully live a Solar Beam. Oh, he outspeeds me. That's not good. Both outspeed me. That's a surprise. So that's a very fast Meganium and an even faster Gallade. Because I do have some speed investment on this thing, so... good to know. Good to know going into game 3. But I already kind of know the adjustments I want to make. So I think the big thing is going to be leading the Gambit and punching that Gyarados. So, let's hop into game 3. Can I take it home? Alrighty, game 3 and I'm leading Gambit. For sure. Because he's let Gyarados twice. I don't think he's going to swap it. And Defiant is so nice. But do I lead Gliscor with it? Or do I lead Infernape with it? I'm going to Gliscor with it. I think I want Tailwind. Gallades for sure. Definitely want to bring Gallades this game. Infernape last? For late game fake? No, why don't fake out late game? Stalling out Tailwind turns. That lead isn't even great into Volcarona in the first place. Yeah, scrap that. We'll lead Infernape. Go Clydeser. We'll go Gliscor. Am I sure about that? Maybe Banette's better? Because it gives me strong Shadow Sneak in case Tailwind gets up? No. Just in case he goes Sand, I actually get destroyed by the Sand mode if I don't go Gliscor. I think this is correct. Yeah, I think this is the play. Yeah, let's do it. Game 3, season on the line, because if I lose this, my playoff chances are definitely done. But we got this, boys. Let's do this. Right. What does he lead? He leads same as game 2. Perfect. It's actually ideal. There's a Get Gambit for an AP here, and because of my Occaberry, this is perfect. Also, so glad I changed this from Stone Edge to Rock Tomb, because I have so much more confidence in this hitting. But what do I Rock Tomb? I think Volcarona has to be correct, right? Yeah, and then fake out the Gyarados, because we know this isn't Rage Pattern. And even if he reveals Rage Pattern now... Yeah, even if he reveals Rage Pattern now, then it still dies, and it's a 1-for-1. And he doesn't get Tailwind up, which is great. And I have my Tailwind in the back. And if you Fire Moves Gambit, that's fine, because I get him down to a Sash, and I probably just Mop Punch, kill it, and then sucker the Gyarados and see. Fake out, does 9 again, Gyarados flinches. You see the Tailwind? Oh, that's perfect. That's actually ideal. That's really good. And we're gonna get the Rock Tomb off. We're gonna get the Volcarona down to its Sash, which is ideal. And speed drop, not like that matters, thankfully. And here I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to Rock Tomb the Gyarados, and I'm just going to Mop Punch this Volcarona, because Volcarona from Infernape plus damage on the Gyarados is a fantastic trade for me here, especially since I'm putting it in Sucker Punch range. Like, that is phenomenal. If he protects with Volcarona, it's not the end of the world, but I feel like you would have revealed Protect already. Yeah, I think you would have. No, you wouldn't have. Maybe that is Protect. It's not. Let's go. Down goes the Volcarona, and I assume down goes my Infernape here to Waterfall. Maybe he EQs. Try to get down on this Gambit. No, he Waterfalls. Into Infernape, so down that goes. Honestly, Infernape as a lead did pretty okay these 3 games. Okay, maybe game 2 wasn't the best, but that's a user error. Is it going to Rock Tomb off? Is it going to kill? Oh, it lives on 6. So it dies to Sand, if that's a thing that comes up. And here, I always go Clydeser, don't I? Yeah, because I'd want to keep my Gliscor until Tailwind is gone, ideally. Yeah? Yeah, because you go Meganium here, surely. Maybe Gallade, but I just go into my Clydeser on this turn. He's thinking. If he has Gallade, he brings it out, I think. Or Meganium. Yeah, there's Meganium. He wants to maximize the Tailwind turns with this thing. I think that makes sense because he doesn't want to take a Sucker Punch. So I'm going to Sucker Punch the Gyarados, just so I don't have to take a Waterfall. And I'm going to Sludge Bomb the Clydeser. With Clydeser, sorry, into the Meganium. If he Solar Beams Clydeser, it's not great. Plus switches, but I think that's such a hard play to make because you're essentially keeping King Gambit healthy, which is crazy. He goes Gallade. Okay, interesting that that didn't come out first. So you see the Mega with the Meganium. And what is your click here? So I'm going to Sucker Punch, which is going to fail. Do you Weather Ball or do you Solar Beam? Yes! He Weather Balls. My Occaberry pops, so I live that. And now we hope the Clydeser can pick up. I'd like to think Clydeser picks up. Yeah. Come on, Clydeser. Get the Slug Bomb off. Let's go! Huge! That is massive. Down goes the Meganium. And Wow, that's... Cloudsur's really put the team on his back in this game. God damn. See the Gyarados again, so thank you for the extra Defiant, Shuckle. I appreciate it. And here, just no funny business. I'm just going to protect with my Gambit. And I'm just going to take out this Gyarados with a Water Pulse. Because I can. I assume I'm going to get Sacred Sworded here. Or maybe he reveals like... I can see this being a turn he reveals like Coaching. Or something. Well, thankfully he doesn't outspeed his own Scarf Gyarados. But if he has anything that's non-attacking move, he might click it. Or he just Sacred Swords and doesn't care, thinking that I'm just going to Sucker Punch take out the Gyarados. Could be his play. I don't really know. He doesn't beat Cloudsurf or Gallade at this point, so... Ooh, he protects with Gallade. That's surprising. Gonna protect with Gambit. Is Gyarados clicking EQ? Yeah, it is clicking EQ. That makes the Protect make more sense. As only Cloudsurf is going to get hit by this. It's not going to do a lot, because this is doubles. Yep, that bounces. That probably lives a Gallade hit afterwards, which is great. Water Pulse. Another kill of Cloudsurf. I believe that makes it 5. Wow, this thing is good in the right matchups. But yeah, it did look good on paper. And with the Tailwind gone, then this is a pretty simple Sucker Punch plus Water Pulse. Just, I'm thinking about Sash Gallade, even though I know it's Sash in the Corona. Sucker Punch is going to be able to pick up the kill. What a win. And just like that, your Slowbrohemians are now 2 wins on the bounce, baby. And playoffs are still alive. Somehow. What a game, though. GG's to SK. I love you, man. Do check out his stuff. He's great. And I will catch yous for a post-game review. Let's head right into it. Welcome back to the post-game review. And this one feels pretty good. I can't lie. That was a really important win. Keeps the playoff chances alive, which is priority number 1. And number 2, to get one over on, like, I love Shuckleking, but to get one over on him while he's 4-0 feels pretty good. Honestly, I think I played that game pretty well. Game 1 went about according to plan. Cloudsurf putting in the work and Mega Glim being able to get the sub whilst under Tailwind after a little bit of a tricky start with the Mega Eiscues, which I didn't think would Mega. So kind of seeing it Mega as quickly as it did was quite surprising. So maybe I could have adjusted around that a little bit better, but for the most part I think everything did its job in that regard. So yeah, I think everything went pretty okay. Game 2 wasn't as good. I think faking out the Volcarona maybe wasn't correct, but at the same time I think if Tailwind goes up there's not really a different outcome. And maybe I'm better off the Tailwind went up the turn later than the turn earlier. Because, like, at the end of the day, Glyph scores outsped both by the Gallade as well as the Meganium. So, it didn't really matter in the end. I think just I got that turn 1 play wrong, and I just couldn't really recover at that point. Even though Banette tried its damnedest, good god. Banette really did some serious damage. And if that sneaky killed Gallade, maybe I had a chance, but it was looking a little bit dicey. I think my adjustments for Game 3 were perfect. I think leading the Gambit and keeping that in the back till lead Game 3 was absolutely perfect. So glad I changed that to Rock Tomb rather than Stone Edge, because if I had lost that to a Stone Edge miss, I would have been pretty upset, even if it would have killed the Gyarados. But that led me in a position where all I'd lost was Tailwind and Infernape for the sake of basically both of his leads. And then I did kind of hedge my bets on he wouldn't leave a full health +1 Gambit. So I kind of played my bets on that, especially since he swapped out the Gyarados. He had to attack the Gambit because he wasn't just going to let me have a +2 Gambit full. So he did that. I was able to pick out the Meganium then with Slowbrohemians Cloudsurf, which Cloudsurf really put the team on his back this game. Got 5 kills, was super pivotal throughout, and yeah, it just went really well. So overall, really happy with this game. And now we go into week 7 where we take on Standard with pretty simple conditions. Win and I make playoffs, despite starting 0-2, having a team that I feel is nowhere near as good as a lot of the guys that have made playoffs in this league. So, honestly, it's just one game left. Let's keep this momentum going, baby. I hope you guys are still enjoying this VGC content. If you've made it this far, please do let me know by leaving a like and all the good old YouTube stuff. Now catch us next week, where it's do or die. Peace.